What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me doing the tier list as of March 2024, guys, for PVE. So in this video, we're gonna be going over the two new characters that came out in February, and I guess technically March 2 with Chaos Arthur, and seeing where these characters are placed on the PVE tier list and how strong they actually are. Now, yeah, we're only gonna be doing these two new characters since those are the last two. If you guys want to see last month's tier list where I, kind of ranked like the collab units, and also the I think there was a few other characters as well, like the king, and yeah, so a few other characters in there that you guys can check on last month's tier list update. But yeah, I don't think much has really changed here, guys, in terms of the tier list here. So yeah, guys, before we actually hop into the video, make sure to subscribe to your boy Amazing. We are on the road to the 50,000 subscribers. If you guys have not hit that sub button already, man, definitely make sure to. And with that out of the way, guys, let's hop in and let's actually go over the brand new Valentine's Diane. Alright, guys, so we have the Messenger of Love Queen Diane, the Valentine's variant of Queen Diane here, guys. She is a green attribute character. Now, in terms of her skills and stuff, her first skill here is going to inflict pierce rate damage equal to 200% of attack on one enemy, and pierce rate is going to be triple the pierce rate increase on the actual substat. And as you guys can see, it goes from 200, 300, and 500% single target. Now, for her second skill here, guys, it's going to be Diamond Shield, which assumes a stance, which taunts enemies and decreases damage taken by 40% when attacked for 2 turns. And the taunt is obviously directing all damage to self. And this is a, yeah, this is like a stance taunt, right? So, rank 1, that's how it's going to be. Rank 2, it's going to make it so that when they attack into you with the stance, it's going to deplete the ultimate move gauge of the enemy who used their skill by 1 orb. And you still have the taunt, and you have a damage taken by 50% is reduced instead of 40 now. And then on the rank 3, guys, it's going to be 2 gauge now and 60% damage reduction. Regardless of the rank, though, guys, it's always going to be 2 turns, which is something to definitely note, which is actually really good about this Diane. Alright, and moving on to her ultimate here, guys, she's going to do Queen's Embrace, which is going to inflict quell damage equal to 380% of attack on all enemies, then heal HP of all allies by 3% of damage dealt, and quell is obviously damage dealt 5% per active stance on self, and this is at 1 out of 6. Moving on to her passive here, guys. For her passive here, Shy Confession applies Symbol of Love on the hero at the start of the battle. While assuming a stance, the hero's HP related stats are increased by 20%, and when the hero's stance is removed, allies' critical defense is increased by 30% for 2 turns. And in addition, when the hero uses a skill in PVE, all allies' attack related stats are increased by 10% for 2 turns. The Symbol of Love is going to increase increase allies' basic stats by 3% for each ally that takes damage from an enemy's skill, and limit up to 10 times. And then moving on to her Holy Relic, guys, which, obviously she had before the unit even came out, but this obviously does work for her. Increases all allies damage dealt by 30% for 2 turns when the hero assumes a stance. Alright, guys, so that's pretty much the kit right there of the Messenger of Love Queen Diane. Let's actually move back to the tier list here, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on where we actually will rank the character. Now, Diane is obviously centered kind of around PvE, and specifically the Demon King fight. And the thing is with my tier list here is I value the Demon King fight, but I don't value it to the point where it's like the hardest thing in the game, guys, because I don't think Demon King fight is necessarily the hardest thing in the game. And also the rewards from it aren't even really, super important like that. Now, if I was valuing the Demon King fight a lot more, I think I would have to drop LR Liz and Mael, because they wouldn't be the best in those contents, right? Because obviously goddesses are not good. Queen Diane, on the other hand, is pretty much universally good on everything. I mean, look at any PvE content in the game. Now, the thing is, though, is she optimal in the hardest things in the game? The only thing I would say she's optimal in is the DK fight. And I think that's pretty much it. Everything else, she's just a good option to run. So, with that being said, I think Diane should be in the A tier in that sense. Now, I do think, again, as I told you guys, she is universally able to be used. She's good across all demonic beast battles. She's really good in general PvE. And the thing is with her passive too, which I'll go back and I'll show you guys actually if we go back in the game. Her passive, even though it says in PvE, this PvE part actually counts for when you're in demonic beast battle, right? Because there's some characters that say when they use the skill in PvE, where it's like only final boss or whatever the case, but this is for like demonic beast battles as well, guys. So you have a 10% attack related stats buffer, you have a taunt character, and then whenever they remove the stance, you also get critical defense for your team. Also, this character is giving your team basic stats by 3% for each ally that takes damage, including herself as well. So that's another thing that people might not know about the Diane, is that even though it says each ally, it includes her. So when you take an AoE hit on a demonic beast battle, you get 12% basic stats instantly, right? And that's obviously very, very good. So in terms of my ranking here in where I'm gonna actually put the character, I think it is fair, guys, to put her in in the A tier. Now, I think she is a really strong character though, so let's not get it twisted. Just because I don't put her in S tier doesn't mean that she's not worth that tier. I think she's not really, you know, because she's not optimal in any of the demonic beast battles. Like, she's obviously really good in them, but she's not really optimal. Whereas, like, you know, Freyr on the Skull and Hottie team is gonna be kind of, you know, an optimal character. You know, goddesses across all PVE content in the game other than the Demon King are, I would say, optimal as well. So yeah, and also Nidhogg is the hardest, like, demonic beast in the game, and I would still say is the hardest thing in the game right now, right, for like a general player. So yeah, I mean, obviously if you guys rank Demon King higher in terms of PvE content, I'm gonna have to ask you guys in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys actually think. Like, do you think that I should like rate the Demon King more highly because it's like the more newer content, but even though it isn't really like as important as other things in the game like demonic beast battle? Let me know, because I am very curious. And if that's the case, then she would go up here because she's the one of the best characters on Demon King. And if she's universal in all the other contents in the game, which I feel like this tier does fit her the best, but like in general though, right, because she's so good at everything else too, you could argue S tier because of the fact that she's the strongest, one of the strongest characters on DK fight because of the attack related buff she gives, right? So yeah, it's up to you guys where you'd want to rank her. Personally, I'm gonna rank her in the top of A tier though, and I not even that this is like ranked in the tiers, right? I think she just is like, she's barely like at the threshold here, guys, like for S tier. Like, I think if she wasn't just like a stance character and actually like a damage dealing character, she might be up there, right, because of the buff she's giving to the team and you know, in general, because I think her being a taunt character means she's gonna be a little bit slower on the other demonic beast battles versus like, you know, the human team or stuff like that. So yeah, man, that's what I would say though. I think she is very good though, guys. So let's not get it twisted though. But yeah, I think she is definitely top A tier, borderline S tier PvE character. Alright guys, so we're moving on to the final character here of the month. So it's only 2 characters this month, guys, in terms of new units. So we have Chaos Arthur here. Now let's actually open up the game here and let's talk about what he's able to do. Alright guys, we have Broken Balance Chaos Arthur here. Now in terms of what he's able to do in his kit, King of Chaos is his passive. Increase the basic stats of human allies by 5% for each human ally participating in the battle. Applies Call of Chaos on the hero if a human ally gains 1 orb in their ultimate move gauge by increasing the rank of, using, or moving a skill. In addition, Call of Chaos is removed if it has the stacks at the maximum number of times at the start of the ally's turn, applying Chaos Control on the hero for 2 turns. Chaos Control is pretty cool, by the way. Call of Chaos is going to be critical defense 10%, max HP plus 5%, stacks up to 4 times. And then Chaos Control itself is going to be taunting the enemy, max HP 30%, remove 2 debuffs from the hero, and additional damage equal to 25% of the hero's max HP when using skills. So he does gain HP scaling, guys, when he starts doing his attacks after he gains Chaos Control. Now moving on to his first skill here, he has the Flash skill, which is going to inflict flash damage equal to 200% of attack on one enemy. Flash is going to be ×2 critical chance and ×2 damage against debuffed enemies. Now this is a separate effect, so it's not like Aaron's skill where it needs to be both the debuffed enemies to get the ×2 crit chance and the ×2 damage for debuffed enemies. It is separate, so you always have the ×2 critical chance and you always have the ×2 damage dealt. Alright guys, now moving on to the second skill here, it's going to be the Wicked Bite skill. Inflicts flood damage equal to 100% of attack on all enemies, then applies Seal of Darkness for 1 turn. Flood is obviously going to be 0.8% additional damage for every % of remaining HP on self. Seal of Darkness is going to restrict recovery related stats, and damage dealt with all target attacks from the enemy is going to be -30%. Now the scaling on this is actually going to go up from 100 to 150 to 250, and then on the rank 3 it's actually going to be 2 turns for the Seal of Darkness as well. And then moving on to his ultimate here, guys. For his ultimate Into the Chaos, applies Power of Chaos on all allies for 3 turns, inflicts sever damage equal to 550% of attack on all enemies while ignoring 50% of their critical defense, then applies 2 Call of Chaos effects on the hero. And this is bear in mind, guys, this is at 2 out of 6. If the hero is participating in the battle and has the Power of Chaos effect, the hero's damage dealt increases by 40% and the damage taken decreases by 30%. And for the Power of Chaos buff itself, all stats 7% and ultimate move damage taken -25%, with having the sever effect being ×3 critical chance increase. Alright guys, so that's going to be Chaos Arthur right there. Let's actually move over to the tier list here and we'll put him where I feel like he should be ranked. Alright guys, so we're on the tier list right here. Now in terms of where I actually would rank Chaos Arthur, I do think that he is going to be in the same tier as Diane. I mean, this is another really strong PvE character that you could argue could be in this S tier. I mean, even Demon King Melly could be another character character arguing for that final S tier. But the only thing holding, you know, Arthur back a little bit, I would say, is the fact that he's not really, you know, the best in like Nidhogg or, you know, Skull and Hottie, but he is the best in Bird and Deer, and he has some use in Demon King, but it's not as crazy as other characters. Now, the reason why I am going to give him the A tier, though, is because he is universal across all demonic beasts. You can use him on any demonic beast, and you'll do super well, right? The human team is just super strong, and right now I would say if you're running the Arthur human variant for Bird and Deer, which I'm gonna have those videos come out, guys. It's the new fastest PvE team for those specifically. You have the fastest team for Bird and the Deer, and then he's still really good in Skull and Hottie, and he's still pretty good in Nidhogg. So you have a character that's able to do all 4 demonic beast battles, is still able to also do the Demon King fight as well. Not obviously as good as, like, you know, Deanne here or anything, but he's still able to be, you know, able to actually do it. So because of that, I actually am going to give him the A tier here, guys. I think it does make a lot of sense. Overall, Chaos Arthur is a great PvE character, you know, obviously buffing the human allies basic stats, and then him being able to have infinite taunt across the entire demonic beast or entire, you know, Demon King match. I think it is very strong. So yeah, that is pretty much going to be my rankings right there, though, guys, in terms of the tier list this time around. Let me know what you guys think again about how I should be ranking the characters. Do you guys value Demon King higher than like Nidhogg, let's say? Let me know in the comment section below, because I am definitely curious to see what you guys have to say. And if you do value Demon King higher, I will move down the goddesses and we'll move up like Queen Deanne and stuff like that, and maybe also Meliodas too, but we'll see. So thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and we'll see you guys on the next video, man. Peace out and have a great rest of your day, guys. That is going to be the tier list for March 2024, the PvE tier list.